Recently, we bought this broken outboard engine for just £100 on Facebook Marketplace. The plan is simple: fix it and flip it for hundreds of pounds of profit with limited knowledge and tools. The reason that the outboard was only £100 is that the bottom housing was damaged, as well as the lower unit that you can just see here. It was also absolutely covered in grease. I presume that's because the last owner was using it for salt water. What I'm doing first is I'm going to remove the lower unit before I even check the compression stats, because I feel if I start pulling it and trying to turn it on, I think there's a linkage jam somewhere and I don't want to, cause further damage. So as you can see, I eventually got it off. When I have looked at it, I can see clearly this is broke. This is supposed to be a solid unit that goes right up and in here, which I'll take off in a second to show you. So this definitely needs to be replaced. So this is the part that's broke. So since the last video, I went ahead and purchased myself a new leg. Well, I say a new leg, a second-hand leg on eBay. I would put the link to the description of this in, but the guy only had one, so that's no good to anybody. I will put the part number in the description so you know exactly what to order if you've got the same problem. Next, I'm just going to remove all of the old stuff. So cue the elevator music. I'm going to remove all of this, apply this, and then me and Freddie are going to check to see if it's got spark and compression. I've done a wee check myself to see what had compression it did have. Otherwise, I wouldn't have wasted my time on this. I'm going to let the wee man do that. So it's a new day. I've realised that the bolts underneath here, the 6 of them that I took out, they're what are holding the power head on. And after doing a wee bit of research on ChatGPT, it says this is probably quite solid due to the gasket being welded to it with the heat and over time, the corrosion. So I've given it a good wiggle, and now I have disconnected all the cables. I've took plenty of videos so that I can see where all these cables go back on. And I'm going to remove the power head, clean everything up, change the leg, as I call it, and then take it for there. Voila! So these are what are holding on this leg that I keep saying. There we go. Wee bit of caramels in it. So as you can see, I have managed to put the new leg back on. I seem to put everything back on correctly. My phone died, that's why I never showed me doing it. I'm absolutely covered in grease. I'm now going to remove this old gasket, put a nice new one on it. I've cleaned it all up. I know it looks a bit rough, but I ran my finger over it and it seems to be fine. Now it's time for this. As you can see, here's the part number for it. So I'm going to pop this on. Take it for there. Now this is why you take some pictures and videos before you do it. Because that's, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and watch the video how that was applied. And
there's a dead fly up here.
Put it back together. So it's the next day, and last night I managed to piece everything all together. the way it was, putting the power head back on. I'm still yet to determine if it's running or not. So what I'm going to do first, while the lower unit's off, I'm simply going to toss in a new impeller. This is the impeller part number. So at this point I was just opening up the housing of the impeller. I'm having a wee look at the impeller just now, and it's crucial that you get these blades going in the same way. As you can see here, I'm just pointing out that they're anti-clockwise. When I'm squashing the new impeller in, I need to make sure that they're facing anti-clockwise. And to do that, I'm going to use a wee cable tie trick. So I'm going to do that. Put it on, slide it over the top once it's covered these tap bits, snip it all the way down. Back on, facing the correct way. I'm going to see if the housing's a wee bit easier to slip on now. Yep. So now that I've got it on slightly, I'm just going to snip it and then push all the way down. That's now down. And over, I simply snip, pull the cable tie, and then push all the way down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm simply going to reattach the lower unit to the outboard, do some further tests, and then we'll look into getting this running and if it needs any repairs. When I say simply attach this, I mean probably tremendously hard attach this. I'm glad I was under no illusion that this was going to be easy. However, when I finally did get the lower unit attached, it turns out the lower unit was busted anyway. The clutch dog, if that means anything to you, wasn't working at all. So I went on to eBay again and I bought a used lower unit for £75 that you can just see here. When it arrived, I had to take the old one off again, redo the impeller, and then slot it back home. This is the new lower unit that I've applied to it. As you can see, it's not in great condition, but what I'm going to do is give it a light sanding and then some Quicksilver spray paint. Before I even start to do any sanding and spray painting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if it starts. So I've hooked up some fuel, I've primed the bulb, set that, let's see if it starts. Pump the water fine. Yeah, we're all good. Let's see if it goes into here. If it's forward. Woo! I need a bigger bucket. I've absolutely soaked my garage, but I'm alright with that because I'm delighted that it runs. I'm going to fill the bucket and make sure it goes into reverse. and the kill switch works also. So at this point, I'm delighted with the way it runs. I never got it up to full revs, but I don't see any issue with that because it's idling slow. It's selecting gears perfectly. And overall, I'm happy with it. So I'm going to give it a quick sand down, give it a quick spray with the Quicksilver spray, then get it back onto Facebook Marketplace. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and stick around as the next video up is us repairing and refurbishing this 1970 outboard as well.